Hello people of YouTube, my name is Brad, this is my channel Animate Orange, and this week in 3D metal model news, starting as usual with Fascinations. I've taken a glance at their coming soon and what's new page, and there's no new models to talk about. Nothing's moved over to what's new, though I think, I could be wrong, but I don't think we had a size measurement of the finished model of the Boba Fett model, and I think there were the pictures before, but I don't think we had the size. So the only thing that I can really see that's changed is the Iconics or Premium series, which used to be known as Iconics. Boba Fett has a finished size of 3.2 length by 4.1 width by 7.2 height. So inches, I'm pretty certain that's inches. So it's going to be over 7 inches tall when it is completed. And that's just to give you a little bit of comparison. We've already shown pictures, but if you've built the Iron Man model, it is only 4.75 inches tall, so not quite 5 inches. And if you've built the Templar Knight, which is a little bit bigger, Premium Series or Iconics Templar Knight, it's 5.83, so just under 6. Looks like the Boba Fett model is going to be taller than either of those two, to give you an idea of how big it's going to be. So that's pretty exciting. Still don't have any size on the Metal Earth Deadpool model, and that's the one thing that I've seen that's changed on the Fascinations website. However, Fascinations did release their March newsletter a few days ago, and they previewed a model that I mentioned before in a previous news video where somebody had taken a picture from the latest catalog. They previewed a picture of the International Space Station, which looks really fascinating. Now, it was kind of a cropped close-up picture, so you couldn't see the whole thing, and it did have the note, design not final. My understanding is that they have been working on that for a long time and are still working on it, and that's why they didn't show a more detailed or more full picture of the model, is because it's still, they're just previewing it for right now. It's still kind of in the works, but that's pretty neat. And I've definitely seen a trend towards space items with Metal Earth, with Fascinations. They've been coming out a lot of space related ships and things like rovers and landers and stuff like that. Now the International Space Station, that one looks like it's going to be complicated to put together and display, but fascinating just the same. We also received the newest challenge. They always put out some sort of picture challenge or some sort of challenge in their newsletter. This one is named Wings and Water at War. Create a Metal Earth battle scene in the air and or at sea for this month challenge. 2 entries submitted to marketing@fascinations.com will have their image featured in our April newsletter and receive a mystery bundle of Metal Earth models. Rules, ships, and planes for this challenge. Deadline, April 15th, 2020. Be sure to include your full name and mailing address when submitting your entry. And I'll tell you right now, if I were to enter this, I'm not going to. If I were to enter this, I'd be really challenged, really tempted to stretch the rules, because it says ship. It says water and air, and it says ship, but it doesn't exclude space. I'd be really tempted to do something with Star Wars ships, but in the air instead of in space. But that's just me. Do want to say congratulations to Jim Coleman for his picture of the logging truck and trailer with some buildings in the background. It's a really neat picture, and the other winner was me, oddly enough. I took a couple of pictures of recent Ford truck builds. It's an idea I had in my head since I heard about the trucks coming. Actually, 2 or 3 other ideas regarding the Ford models that recently came out. I was originally just going to do the 37 truck and maybe put a crate and barrel in the back, but then I built the White Swan truck and decided to expand upon that and did like a farming scene. I wanted to do it outside in the grass, but here the weather's just been terrible and rainy and muddy and snowy, and just it's been all over the place, and that just wasn't going to happen. And I just had a couple of days left and was like, you know what, I actually tried to borrow a friend's terrain. They have some terrain that they use for tabletop gaming, but it wasn't big enough, so I just went with a green sheet. Didn't want to take the time to do any special effects and try to do green screen, because with those models, if you look at it, the green overflows onto the metal models and they get tinted, and green screen would be a nightmare to actually pull off. But anyway, I wanted to enter a contest. It's been a while. I usually don't. I didn't actually expect to win, but I enjoy being creative sometimes and showing off, and I actually won. So, surprise. I did receive a pack of models. There's one out of the pack that I don't have, so I'll be adding that to my list of models to build. The other ones I do. So, if you haven't seen it already, earlier this week I released a video that I'm doing a giveaway. I talked about last week supporting your local hobby shop if they have online orders here in the U.S. and not just the U.S. but other countries as well. Lots of us are going on lockdown. I've heard several different terms for it, but stay-at-home orders or shelter-at-home orders here in the state of Pennsylvania, where I am at. Earlier this week, they did kind of crack down and say you need to stay at home unless you have really good reason to go out. I know a lot of other states are doing the same thing. Even Washington State, where vaccinations is based, my understanding, I don't know if it's the whole state or just the area in which vaccinations is in. I think it's SeaTac. Went under a similar or same sort of order. I will say, from my understanding, is they are still operational, at least to some degree. We're managing to work out of home. They're a very small business, so they're adapting. But a lot of hobby shops that sell these models aren't able to sell them in their storefronts because their storefronts are closed. And I mentioned At Play Toys being one of them. I've started including a link in my description down below where you can go to At Play Toys, follow the link, go to At Play Toys. If I'm not mistaken, you can get 10% off your first order. Sign up for an account. I've also got an account, kind of keep track. You can earn wooden nickels. I haven't looked all the way into that, but it's like a reward system, I believe. But I mentioned how they were also offering free shipping. I'm fairly certain that's still going on with Metal Earth models right now, and they also have other deals that are available. But support them. If you're looking for a model, you can't go out, see if you can't find a local hobby shop that sells these models online, and support locally to keep these businesses afloat, because this is a tough time for all of us. Now, after having said all of that, I did end up receiving a generous donation over the past weekend and decided to put my money where my mouth is, and I've gotten 4 $25 gift cards to give away. But you'll need to see that video to know exactly how to enter. I'll put a link in the description down below. If you haven't already seen that video, you still have, I think, a couple of days left to enter that contest. So all of this is kind of tied together, because after I do that, finish that contest, I'm probably going to do more. I know a lot of us are stuck at home and some of us don't have models to put together, so I wanted to do some gift cards. But after that contest is run, I do have some spare models, including ones that I just got from winning that contest, that I do want to give away. So I foresee more giveaways coming in the future. But I'm going to stop because I'm straying very far off topic. I do want to add that looking at Peace Cool and a lot of other websites, I don't see anything new. I've looked around AliExpress. The one change that I've seen is the Super Nautilus store I talked about previously that has metal head models for sale. It looks like they may have a couple more on their store they didn't have last week. When I went there looking today, they had a Staten Island Ferry, a Disney Space Mountain, and the Sydney Opera House in color. Don't remember seeing them before. It was shown as being something new. I will again put the link to that store in the description down below. I think they still have some of the other Star Wars models I talked about last week if you're looking to get some of the older models in color. Though again, my understanding is these aren't Metal Earth models. These are copycat models that may not be as good quality metal that have been painted and are being sold. So there is a risk it may not be as easy to put together, or it may break more easily than Metal Earth. But I wanted to put that out there for those that are really into that. Those older colored models, at least until or if Metal Earth ever decides to go back and recolor some of the old ones. Kind of unintentionally drifted into a different topic a little bit too soon. I meant to do that after talking about last week's topic. Last week's topic was, I basically asked what's everyone working on during this shutdown, or if you're stuck at home, or if you have the spare time, what are you working on? What are you doing to keep yourself busy? I got a number of responses. Brandon, during this extended delay in casual life, I have the Ford Freightliner tank sets to build. And that was all separated by commas, so I'm guessing I have the Ford, the Freightliners, and the tank sets to build. I just don't have any more Ford models, but there are a couple, 2 or 3 more that I could stand to get and build, but not to worry. I have a number of things to work on as it is. Battlement commented, I am fortunate enough that I still have a job and can even work from home. My deepest sympathies to those who are directly affected during this crisis. I am ever so slowly working on the Peacecool Bismarck battleship. I've already spent a few hours on it and have only completed a few of the towers. This model should keep me busy for some time. Thanks, Brad, for bringing together this wonderful community. It's fantastic. Also, if I haven't really expressed it before, deepest sympathies to anybody who's affected by this, who's lost hours or even lost a job or been laid off. This is a difficult time, definitely a difficult time for many, if not everyone, and best of luck in getting through it to all of us. And as far as bringing together the community, I can't take credit for that. There are so many other resources out there, the Metal Earth community, the Facebook communities, that just the people in this community tend to come together anyway, but thank you. Bernie Morse, I'm sorry if I've gotten that name incorrectly. Right now I'm working on the Metal Earth Cat mining truck. Hardest model I've done yet, but it's supremely satisfying seeing it all come together. Best of luck with everything. The Cat models were a very interesting step in complexity for Metal Earth, and they all definitely had their challenges. They were a lot more complicated than many of the other models that they had at the time when they came out, but fantastic builds. I think I finally finished all of them. I don't know if I have any more to build. I may have 1 or 2 more to build, but I've built quite a few, and I've definitely built the mining truck. I think that was the first one that I did. I agree with you. Complicated, difficult, but fascinating to watch it all come together. Chris Thorpe, hey Brad, I have the Harry Potter Dragon, Dinosaur Fossil Kit, and War Machine to work through. Still have the Star Wars Destroyer droid I started 2 years ago to finish up that I forgot about. Apart from that, waiting for the Megatron MU bust to arrive for my next big build. So Chris, it sounds like you've got a number of things to keep you busy. That's fantastic. Definitely enjoy working on those. I've done a few MU Transformers models, but mostly just the G1 stuff. I'm actually working on a G1 Starscream right now. I haven't done any of the bust. I actually just put the legs together and the torso. I finished that up. I started yesterday, and I didn't want to rearrange the camera and lighting until I finished the last few pieces and put that together. So I'm a little bit later recording this than I normally am, but that's okay. Larry, good night. Thank you for the update, Brad. Hope you stay well throughout all of this. Since I've had the free time, I've decided to work on some of the more time-consuming models I have. Started with the Yamato, a lot of guns to build for sure, but took my time and it came out great. Gonna start either the Freight Train set or the Star Destroyer. Any of the Iconics are good time users for sure. Or good time users for sure. Take care. The Yamato was a fascinating, amazing build. I love that. I really loved, I believe it was in Missouri, the Iconics Missouri. Did that one first. Was absolutely blown away by it, and the Yamato just took it to another level. So you're right, take your time. Lots of little guns, but it's fantastic when it comes out. The Freight Train set was a very interesting build, a little bit drawn out. I understand. I think some of the models may be mislabeled as to what category they fall into, but I'm no train expert. And the Star Destroyer, if you're talking about the Iconics, the Iconic Star Destroyer, that's a complicated one. Take your time. But amazing model when it's done. Shane Stribley, hi Brad, I agree, please take care of one another. While my family is being very cautious at the moment and basically staying out of the way, I was very lucky enough to stumble across the MU Bumblebee kit. It's not halfway through, I'm not halfway through it yet, but man, what a great kit. So this will fill in downtime for me, no worries. Stay safe and cheers from down under. I believe there's a couple of different MU Bumblebee kits. There's one where he's standing up. I haven't gotten that one. I understand that one can be frustratingly challenging. or I may be thinking about the other Bumblebee where he's kind of laying on his side. I have built that one. That one's from the movie. That one definitely has some frustrating parts, but it's, again, fantastic when it's all done. From KGW800, nice video. Bought 3 more yesterday at the local store to take with me on my semi truck. In Utah, Smith and Edwards carries Metal Earth models. So if you're in Utah and you know what Smith and Edwards is, there's a place for you to get some Metal Earth models right there. Building and on the road in a semi truck, that must be interesting. I certainly hope you're not building while you're driving. Probably not. I'm joking. That's a terrible joke. Let's move on. John Finnegan Jr. Hi Brad, as far as Metal Earth kits, I've got 9. I can work on a couple of NASA kits and a couple of the Ford kits and a few others. I just got done building the HMS Prince of Wales and the Peace Cool wedding dress. Have you seen the wooden models by U-Gears? They are great kits. I've gotten 3 kits from them. The truck, the stagecoach, and some globe that opens with the dancer inside. They are a bit high on the prices, but great kits. I tried them just for a break from metal kits. Now as you are waiting for time for machine kits to arrive, happy building and stay safe. I have heard of U-Gears. I think I made a comment or a post about them on Instagram a year or 2 ago when I first heard about them. They only had a few kits at the time. They're very fascinating. I did want to give them a try. Honestly, my plate stays so full with building these metal models that it just never worked it in. I considered it. I thought this would be something fun to branch out into. And if I were in a position where I was able to more than keep up with what's currently out there and possibly surpass, then I probably would get into U-Gears. But there's so many metal models out there already and so many for me to build that there just isn't time, and I've decided not to. Maybe one of these days, but as it is right now, yeah, the U-Gears look really fascinating. I've heard good things about them, but I haven't had time for them yet. So for this week's question, I'm going to back up a little bit here because I kind of got ahead of myself earlier. I was talking about how earlier in the week I put out a video for a contest, or a giveaway, not contest, a giveaway, kind of a virtual scavenger hunt giveaway where I'm giving away 3 or 4 $25 gift cards for At Play Toys, and you can certainly go watch that video to enter into that. There's still time. But there's something else I wanted to give away, and I'm doing that separately. So I'm announcing it at the end of this video, and I'm also getting some help from my friend CodeWookie once again to gather the information so I can easily pick a winner. Well, what I'm giving away is I have managed to get another one of these Mega R2-D2 models. This one's already built. I've got one that is unbuilt, still in the packaging. If you don't know about the Mega R2, it is a difficult model to get because it's not technically sold to the public. It's only sold to retailers as a display model. So you can find it. You can find it on eBay sometimes, but it's not generally easily available. You can kind of hear my phone going off because I'm still somewhat putting this together as I'm making the video. But what I've managed to find another one, and I've already paid for it. They're waiting on an address for me to ship it to. I'm not going to have it shipped to me. I'm just going to have it shipped directly to a winner. So it's just kind of a drawing of the hat, how you can enter. Well, first of all, like before, I'm sorry to say you're going to need a U.S. mailing address. That's not to say that you have to live in the United States, but you have to have an address in the United States, someone or somebody that can accept it and forward it to you to wherever you are, because first of all, where it's coming from, they're not going to ship internationally. That's not an option. As far as sending it to me and sending it internationally, that's going to be an extra cost, and trying to figure out packaging for what ultimately is going to be a long flat cardboard thing. I don't have my packaging anymore. At least I can't find it. I think I do, but I don't know where it is. But the sheets of this thing are pretty sizable, and it's just a long flat cardboard thing that's going to get bent easily, and I don't even want to bother trying to figure out how I'm going to ship that safely in the amount of money it's going to cost to ship it. So I apologize for that. But if you have somebody in the U.S. that can accept it for you and then pay to ship it to you, fantastic. As long as you have a United States mailing address that it can be shipped to, that's fine. The deadline to enter is going to be Wednesday, April the 1st at 11:59 p.m. That gives me a little bit of time Thursday to try and get together all of the entries and randomly pick one person to enter it. I'm going to send you once again to Metal Earth Builder's website, metalearthbuilder.com, to enter. CodeWookies will put up a post with a form at the bottom where you can put in your mailing address and a name, so I can announce somebody in next week's video, and preferably an email address so I can contact you in case I need to, for whatever reason, to get you your package. In case I need to contact you, preferably give an email address so there's not a holdup. And I will ask that you answer this one question so I have some idea that you've watched this video or at least read CodeWookie's post. Because I've got to ask something. I've got to have some sort of topic of the week. And seeing as it's a Star Wars model and assuming that the people going to be interested in this are Star Wars fans, that is my hope. I hope I'm not giving this model to somebody who has no idea what Star Wars is. But what Star Wars model would you like to see Metal Earth put out that isn't already been put out or teased at? There's been teasing of things like Darth Vader. We've got Boba Fett on the Coming Soon page. A Stormtrooper's been teased. There's been rumors of a Baby Yoda. Stuff that's not been either already released through Disney or through Metal Earth, or I say Disney, you know, Disney exclusive. Something that isn't already out there, been teased. What's one model that you'd really like to see Metal Earth put out? So you can still leave that in the comments down below here, but at the end of the contest you'll want to go follow the link to MetalEarthBuilder.com to the post related to this contest, to this giveaway, and leave an answer there, as well as the other information. Fill out the form at the bottom of CodeWookie's post to be able to enter this contest. I'm going to draw a winner either sometime Thursday or Friday morning and announce the winner in next week's news video on April the 3rd, provided nothing happens to put that off. Also, I'm really seriously considering, since I've already got a few models here and there that I've ended up with extras with for one reason or another. There was a contest I won quite some time back where I got some models that I already had and have already built. So there's a few things I've been thinking about giving away and it just hasn't happened. Plus, with me winning the recent contest, I got a few more models, so it's time for me to do more giveaways. So my intentions, provided things work out and nothing big comes up to stop me next weekend, next Friday, is to announce a winner and possibly run another giveaway. But still got to work out the details between now and then. I'm going to leave it at that. Again, look in the description down below for the link to the page, CodeWookie's website, metalearthbuilder.com, the specific link you need to go to enter this giveaway. Good luck to you. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my Patreon supporters for continuing to support this channel. And thank you to the donor last week for providing the funds to make this possible. As always, keep on keeping on and stay safe.